And I just wanted to make sure that Geralt was represented as accurately as possible.
Henry Cavill is finally standing up against woke Hollywood culture and its obsession with rewriting beloved characters, and he's not holding back.
When it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head.
After fighting to keep Superman true to his roots and refusing to let The Witcher become an unrecognizable mess, Cavill found himself pushed out of the very roles he fought to protect. But instead of staying silent, he's taking matters into his own hands, proving that Hollywood doesn't get the final say.
You are genuinely a fan of the books and the game and everything. Apparently on set, you know more than anyone else.
I wouldn't necessarily say anyone else, but I'm a big fan.
Now, as he makes a bold comeback on his own terms, fans are rallying behind him like never before. How did he turn the tables on an industry that tried to cancel him? Let's dive in. It all started when Henry Cavill, a self-proclaimed fantasy nerd, set his sights on bringing Geralt of Rivia to life in Netflix's adaptation of The Witcher. This wasn't just another acting job for him. It was a dream role, the kind of character he had obsessed over since childhood. His love for the source material ran deep, from Andrzej Sapkowski's novels to the critically acclaimed video games. He wasn't just an actor playing Geralt. He was a fan who had already lived and breathed the character.
I have been a fan of the fantasy genre since I was a boy. My dad would read to me before I could read, and then any of my free time spent reading has always been, well, more often than not, has been reading fantasy genre.
So, when he heard Netflix was making The Witcher, he didn't wait for an opportunity, he chased it. He had his agents constantly calling, pushing for an audition until he landed the role. But while getting the part felt like a victory, what followed turned his dream project into one of Hollywood's most controversial exits. From the very beginning, Cavill made it clear that he wanted to stay true to the books. He knew what made Geralt special: his dry wit, his internal struggles, and the complex, morally gray world he navigated. To him, The Witcher wasn't just about epic battles and monster fights. It was about the depth and nuance of its characters. But as the show progressed, creative differences started to surface. The writers had their own vision, one that didn't always align with the source material or Cavill's perspective. While some saw his commitment as admirable, others found it frustrating. His insistence on staying faithful to the original story led to frequent disagreements, creating tension behind the scenes. Cavill wasn't shy about challenging changes he felt compromised the integrity of the story. Reports emerged that he had pushed back against script decisions that, in his eyes, veered too far from Sapkowski's world. While fans applauded his dedication, some insiders labeled him as difficult to work with. There were even claims that his behavior had become problematic, though many fans rejected this idea outright. To them, Cavill wasn't being difficult. He was standing up for the essence of a character they all cherished. He saw it as his duty to preserve the story's heart, and in doing so, he found himself at odds with those who saw The Witcher as just another TV adaptation, rather than a beloved fantasy universe with a devoted fan base. As tensions increased, speculation about Cavill's future on the show grew louder. Some believed he was growing frustrated with the direction of the series, while others suggested the show's creators were struggling to work with him. Then came the bombshell. Netflix announced Cavill was stepping down as Geralt. The news hit the fandom like an earthquake. Fans immediately began questioning the real reason behind his exit. Was it truly his decision? Or had the ongoing creative disputes made it impossible for him to stay?
I'm a big PC gamer as well, and so I spent a lot of my time playing role-playing games in that genre and played the Witcher games. I played The Witcher 3 through twice.
To this day, the exact details remain unclear. Some sources claimed he left due to scheduling conflicts, particularly his brief return as Superman. Others argued that he simply couldn't continue working on a show that disregarded the integrity of the books. What's undeniable is that his departure left a massive void. Cavill's Geralt had resonated with audiences, and his absence would be deeply felt. Fans flooded social media with disappointment, with many blaming the show's creative team for losing an actor who had embodied the role so perfectly. Beyond The Witcher, Cavill has long been known for his passion for gaming and fantasy. He's not just a casual fan. He's the guy who spends hours painting Warhammer 40,000 miniatures and can discuss RPG mechanics in depth. His love for the Witcher video games played a huge role in shaping his performance, giving him a unique understanding of Geralt that extended beyond just reading a script. He wasn't just portraying Geralt, he understood him on a fundamental level. That deep connection made his performance compelling, but it also made it harder for him to compromise when he felt the story was being altered too much.
It's about the winning?
It's about taking part, Jim.
I see. It's about the journey
It's very
along
British.
the way.
It's about winning or losing. It's about being there.
Despite everything, Cavill has remained classy about the situation. He's never publicly criticized the show's creators or fueled the ongoing debates. Instead, he's moved on to new projects, particularly Amazon's Warhammer 40,000 adaptation, a venture that excites fans because it seems tailor-made for someone as passionate as him. Unlike The Witcher, this time, Cavill isn't just starring in the project, he's deeply involved in its creative direction. If there's one thing we know about him, it's that he doesn't take roles lightly. When he commits, he gives it everything he's got. And because of that, fans will follow him wherever he goes. His exit from The Witcher was already a big blow to fans, but what happened next with his Superman role in the DC universe left them even more stunned. After years of playing the Man of Steel, Cavill's return was teased in the post-credits scene of Black Adam. The excitement was through the roof. He even made an official announcement that he was back as Superman, fueling anticipation among DC fans worldwide. But just as quickly as the excitement had built up, it was shattered. Within days, new DC heads James Gunn and Peter Safran revealed that Cavill was no longer part of their plans, calling the entire situation a misunderstanding.
Yeah, so do you correct people?
I don't necessarily... I am effusive about getting the being loyal to the source material. Let's put it that way.
For many, this felt like a betrayal. Cavill appeared to have been caught in the middle of studio politics. Gunn and Safran had a fresh vision for DC's future, one that did not include Cavill's Superman. Instead of giving him a clear answer from the start, DC had seemingly used his return as a marketing move to hype up Black Adam. The idea that Cavill had somehow misunderstood his role in all of this didn't sit right with fans. It seemed more like a calculated move by the studio rather than a genuine mistake. Despite being blindsided, Cavill handled the situation with professionalism. He didn't lash out or publicly criticize the studio, even though it was obvious that he had been used and discarded. Fans, however, were not so forgiving. They saw an actor who had been dedicated to his role, only to be strung along and then dropped when it no longer suited the studio's agenda. It was clear that Cavill had been unfairly treated, becoming collateral damage in DC's restructuring process.
So much nuance and detail to these characters, which are often at risk of being oversimplified, and what you guys have done with the characters.
To make things worse, this sudden reversal on Superman happened right after his departure from The Witcher, making it feel like Cavill had been dealt one devastating blow after another. The optics were terrible. A beloved actor, respected by fans and critics alike, being tossed aside not once, but twice in quick succession. Industry insiders speculated that his insistence on staying true to his characters might have made him difficult for studios to work with. What happened to Cavill wasn't a case of an actor failing. It was a case of studio politics shifting in ways that left him out in the cold. While DC Studios claimed there were never concrete plans for his return, the reality was that Cavill had been led to believe otherwise. He was strung along and then discarded, not because he lacked talent or fan support, but because of factors entirely beyond his control. So, What do you think about Henry Cavill's exit from The Witcher and Superman? Do you believe he made the right choice, or should he have stayed? Share in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.